My name is Michael Black. I'm a Principal Senior Lecturer in the Neuroscience Institute and affiliate faculty in the Urban Studies Institute at Georgia State University's Atlanta campus. Climate change is such a big problem, it must be addressed by many people with many different skills. We need biologists, farmers, and indigenous practitioners to help us understand what is best in the many diverse places of the world for growing food locally and sustainably. We need philosophers to ask the hard questions that we're ignoring and identify the ethical issues and the best ways to address them. We need engineers and designers to help us do the things that we do, building for the long-term use and reuse and upcycling. We need to replace the plastics made from oil and natural gas with other materials. We need to be conserving resources like oil and gas for things that are absolutely essential as we transition to cleaner forms of energy, not using oil and gas to make a plastic that we'll throw away a few seconds later. We need business people working on sustainability strategy and a carbon sequestering economy. We need artists and musicians to inspire us to action. We need educators to make sure those who want to save ourselves in this planet know that recycling has a lot less effect than limiting your meat consumption, which also has a lot less effect than avoiding international flights. We need technology experts and computer programmers to have the security of verified blockchain without the environmental cost. Any discipline can be connected to climate change in some way. I'm involved in policy, and I serve as the chair of the Environmental Sustainability Board for City of Decatur. I'm involved with getting us back to safe levels of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. There are many ways to achieve this goal, outlined in Paul Hawken and Catherine Wilkinson's book, Drawdown. And we need to implement so many at once, as well as dealing with the changes that are already here and coming soon. My focus is on climate resilience and clean energy implementation. I helped get the first solar panels on a school in the city schools of Decatur, and thanks to assistance from the federal government, we've increased solar capacity and battery backup in the city of Decatur for emergency shelters. As a Christian, I'm also involved in the creation justice movement in the United Methodist Church, working to change hearts and minds for the transformation of the world, addressing the ecological crisis by loving my neighbor. Proctor Creek is a prime example of an environmental justice issue in Atlanta that people are working hard to fix. Proctor Creek got more public attention when Mercedes-Benz Stadium was built in the neighborhood. In the early 1900s, Atlanta built sewage infrastructure and did not build enough infrastructure to take care of the largely African American community downstream from the high points of the city in Proctor Creek. In one of the earliest examples of the environmental justice movement, neighbors and allies rallied to have the infrastructure fixed for Proctor Creek, but they were unsuccessful with getting Atlanta leaders to invest what needed to be invested. Sewers combined with stormwater drainage result in raw sewage pouring into the downstream community of Proctor Creek whenever rainwater overwhelmed the infrastructure. As more impervious surfaces were built upstream, and climate change has changed the weather patterns, the problems have magnified. And the large amounts of rain in short periods of time due to climate change have led to more raw sewage flooding into Proctor Creek. This is a great example of how infrastructure affects how things work and how we can change it for the better. Climate change has dramatic effects on students at Georgia State. More extreme weather makes commuting and learning harder for students at Georgia State. Additionally, many of our students come from places that are dramatically impacted by climate change. They live in coastal areas, areas that are threatened by larger, stronger hurricane damage, heat, and sea level rise. Students need to be in a safe place, and they need to feel that their hometowns are in a safe place. This threat of climate change increases the anxiety that we have as a community here for our hometowns and the people that we love in other places. This is an ethical issue for our students and for us, because we have some of the best means and the best power to make these changes and help these people that we love. There are so many things individual students can do to make a positive impact on climate change. Xiuhtezcatl Martinez of the Mexica people said it well. The biggest issue we faced is shifting human consciousness, not saving the planet. The planet doesn't need saving. We do. I have a lot of hope that this climate crisis can be humanity's most unifying moment, an opportunity for us to essentially reset and redetermine what kinds of systems we want to exist to govern and shape our lives. I believe that humanity will inherently do the right thing to correct our course. That's coming from a young person. For the students who feel they can't make a difference, I ask you to foster and keep hope and know that you can make a difference. Individuals have made profound differences in history, and history has shown again and again that we are a social species as humans, and if one person does something and people see it's a good thing, more people will join. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, anyone can serve. Find your place, find your gifts, and make the world a better place. There are lots of opportunities at Georgia State. You can take a tour with the student environmental team at Georgia State, of the student gardens at the top of our football stadium at Center Park Stadium, or join the Peace Club or Panther Bikes. You can tour the forests with Eco Addendum, or do a bird watching with the Audubon Society, or a tour of one of the environmentally impacted areas with Sierra Club. You can get out into the wild and appreciate nature with Touch the Earth program at the Rec Center at Georgia State. Volunteering is all over the place. You can help people with growing food in the gardens and then providing it to students in need of food assistance. Take your passion and your gifts and use them for change.